Peter, what do we say his last name is?
Steen.
Peter Steenstein Heisenberg.
I actually think it's supposed to be Steen, and I say Stein instead.
Yeah, I think you say Stein, and then I go, why do you want to be Steen? You're going to be compared to Weinstein, and then he gets really triggered. Anyway, Peter Stein, the thing that he does, that I've called him out on a few times, and I'm going to put this in the episode, because why not? This will be the cold open.
No, I'm still scrolling.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
It's
that doesn't matter.
90% of the media I've seen of going back the last couple of years is just me on a phone. It's a little bit depressing.
Anyway, Peter Stein tends to share articles and go, oh, that finally happened, or let's cancel him. And he doesn't read it. He doesn't look into the situation. He just joins on the fucking bandwagon.
Oh, that's what you meant.
Great, now we've lost an audience.
Now we've lost the only one member. That's okay. It was a little weird that they were like underage. So now we can drop F-bombs.
Okay, alright. Now, I'm not touching...
Why do people keep coming in and like rescuing my hostages? It's like that Quagmire bit.
My favourite thing is when I say welcome to the Banana Split podcast, that can't be edited out now.
God damn it. Episode 81. I'm Patrick. This is Jaden.
Allegedly.
They've probably been here.
So, question. Can you do me a favour? Can you do a Google for me?
A Google. Okay, I can do that. One sec. Google is ready to go. Ooh, look, there's articles about Naughty Dog devs revealing Easter eggs in The Last of Us. Wait, did Naughty Dog make The Last of Us?
Yes, and no, we're not. We've covered. We have covered The Last of Us.
Weirdly ignorant about certain things.
27 times.
Because that's a whole different kettle of fish from like Uncharted and stuff. Anyway.
Kettle of
fish, like, you know, it's a metaphor or a, I don't know what you call it. I'm not, anyway, rolling at 100% as per usual, but, you know, it's like there's Uncharted, which is fun. You've got Tom Holland playing the lead now in the film, and it's going to be a blast. And then you've got Last of Us, which is the super dark, like, scary, sad, moody, emo game. So you just wouldn't think they're from the same studio. And the Uncharted has a much better, like, they're both third-person action things, and I've said this before, Uncharted's much easier to run around in. Okay, so what do you want me to Google?
I want to know what was the name of the Channel 10 weatherman who lost his job?
Tim Bailey.
I want to check.
Is that what you meant?
Okay, excellent.
Wow, his hair just gradually got weirder and weirder over time before he looked like an extra.
Hey. Let's not talk about him or his hair. Anyway, now for the forecast on the Banana Split podcast, our weatherman, Tim Bailey. Thanks, Jaden. Hi, Tim Bailey's from Channel 10 here. Oh wait, no I'm not. I got fired. I swear, I'm Tim Bailey. And today, on the Banana Split podcast, we're talking cancer culture. See ya. And if you look here on our weather map that is totally here, and I'm not just pointing at a green screen, you'll see coming up here from the Central Coast, we've got, oh look at that, there's a cyberpunk porn parody. Who would have guessed that one? And if down here in the south, we've got Elliot Page. Oh no, the right wing doesn't like that one again. And if we look up here towards our more ghetto areas, you know, the Blacktowns, the Matt Druitts, the Dune sides, not where I live. No, not at all, not whatsoever. We're talking our PS5 bands. Hold on one second, I'm gonna check the notes that are totally not on my hand. Oh yes, and to end it all, we're gonna, you know, right here in, you know, the heart of Sydney, the most important thing that Vision does not have a purple penis. Thank you. Back to you, Jaden. Thank you, Tim.
Let go as part of a redundancy.
Well, that's why we've
got a nice golden parachute.
That's why we've got him here now.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Tim. Back to the news.
I mean, it's not as good as like the Jim Jeffries weatherman. Thank you, Pat.
That's the issue with me having content right here. I've noticed that when I'm editing, they'll say things which are actually interesting, and I'm so buried in this that I'll completely disregard whatever's been said. So it's a little embarrassing. What was it again? Something about...
I said not as good as the Jim Jeffries Weatherman. But...
I can't remember that bit. We both saw the stand-up, but Jim Jeffries Weatherman... Oh, Brad Pitt. You mean from the actual TV show?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen clips of that. Very cute.
We go on things. That's why, like, when we get the next set, there's going to be a whole schedule. I'll have a list of, like, what are we actually doing? I'll have cards, you know.
Nice. This man's got plans.
Yeah. I'm the man with a plan.
Deadpool 3 is moving forward. Ryan Reynolds has chosen his team of writers. A completely different team from the last two.
To cover, I believe, another article that is also in there. Going to be R still?
Oh, yeah. It's definitely R. I didn't realise that there might be two articles in here. I made sure I got the other one in because it references like where the writers came from, and at least one of the shows they've worked on so far is Bob's Burgers, and I believe they're both women. So there's that extra cred there, you know, for woke points, which is fine. I always sound like I'm dissing the whole like woke movement, but I'm actually down with it. I guess like any movement, things can go a little bit too far.
It's a really.
If they were just like two random chicks, I'd be like, dude, come on. But they wrote Bob's Burgers, which I gotta say, even though I haven't seen them all, is a fucking funny show. So I hope they do it justice.
It's a real weird thing with the woke movement and the whole equality thing. Like, I understand equality, but then there's equality's sake for attempting to prove a point, which again, a point should be made, but also it's a fucking real fucking thin line.
Representation is awesome and it's important, but it's got to be a meritocracy as well. You can't just like hand it out to...
You can't just suddenly get all women to be like, equality.
Yeah. It's...
And at that point, then it's once again...
It's just going to make it harder.
Yeah.
There's going to be a knee-jerk reaction to that eventually, and it's going to hurt you in the long run.
And it's like, let's say, you know, there's a situation of it's an all male writing team. It's just like, and there's one feminist who goes, but you know, why isn't there a woman? But it's in specific situations where it's like these 6 gentlemen are the best for the job. Like, it's all factors.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that show where the guy's a horse.
BoJack Horseman?
Yeah, and there's that, he gets his girlfriend a job on the show he's on, and it's like, oh cool, now we've got like this women writer who's also Asian, but they just basically have her there as scenery, and to put her on those credits is like, oh, we need to make this show look more woke, because I think it was the director, who was a real ass, was in trouble for something he'd said, so it was like, oh look now, see? So there's a lot of that going on where it's just window dressing. Got to look into things and make sure it's done for the right reasons. Which it looks like in this case it is. My feelings are kind of bittersweet because I do like the writers of the first two, and I've just watched a show, smooth segue, called Wayne, which was originally supposed to be on YouTube. It was like one of those things like the Karate Kid, or whatever the like
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai for YouTube.
I know the names of things.
Which clearly didn't, thank God, work out too well. The whole YouTube Red thing kind of fell away, didn't it? They kept trying to get people to sign up, and no.
They keep offering me 4 months free.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who offers 4 months?
It's a random number, yeah.
That's a long time too.
I always thought it was 3, but...
I might do it when they offer me 6.
For me, I think people got used to using YouTube a certain way. Like they'll watch certain kinds of short clip videos, like maybe music videos or whatever they're into, but watching full-length streaming binge series, that's not really a thing most people use YouTube for.
Here's the interesting factor is, with a VPN, I was attempting to watch the last episode of Supernatural live, and I learned that in America, there's a service called YouTube TV.
Oh. I know you can spend money to watch documentaries and stuff on it.
And you can just fucking... They've got their own version of cable.
Right.
It's like their Foxtel.
It's on demand.
It's on YouTube. No, and like you can watch the CW live, everything fucking live.
I haven't seen that one. I know they get HBO Max, which is another thing we're going to talk about. And there's a huge drama going on right now in a cosplay group that I run, thanks to an article that I found and shared that we're going to talk about. And I also put it in that group. Cosplay in Action, yo, check it out.
Scum Gaming, he doesn't know what it is, but
no.
In fact, the world doesn't know what it is, but you will soon.
Scum. Like SCUM?
Yeah, Scum.
Rings a bell.
Well, yeah, it's been in the last 2 credits, so.
Okay, yeah, no, is that you or Matt?
That's me.
Okay. Do you have like your own little streaming thing?
There will be.
Alright, cool.
There'll be a thing established. There's logos already been drawn up and everything. I'm the king of scum. There's the Dawn of Scum. There's Baron Von Scum. And there's the Lord of Scum.
I'm loving it. I think it's like a Warhammer thing. Or Warhammer 40k. There's like a general or a faction spelled differently.
Yeah.
They're goblins, I'm not sure.
I've played Warhammer. I used to have the whole board game and then I threw it out like an idiot because I'm not realising how much that would have been worth nowadays.
What, the miniatures?
Yeah.
Oh god, they're always worth money.
Yeah.
That shit is expensive.
You know how much I got it for?
Oh.
Nothing, because it was at like my primary school's big fucking day and people just donated a bunch of shit and then at the end of it I was like, hey, just come grab a bunch of shit, otherwise we're going to throw it away, it's free now. And then I just went, oh, cool.
Yeah. No, that's worse than me throwing out my entire Matchbox collection when I was like 12.
But then randomly, to continue on Warhammer, just randomly, when I was like 16, fucking 4 books of Warhammer, brand new, got sent to my house with no address to anyone, but the address on it was like Canada. And it got sent to my house. And I was like,
winning.
well, okay.
Can't complain about that. I mean, not that you were playing it, but hey. I don't think it's the books that go for much, but it's the little plastic guys, but still.
It's both. There's lore, you know.
Yeah.
If you really, there's a buyer out there for those. If you're really into the lore.
Well, I would donate them to the Exiles Gaming Club, who are open pretty much all the time. And
are you trying to get sponsored?
No, I don't think they've got enough money to throw around sponsorship, but it's definitely something I'm looking at.
Are you trying to get free entry?
Starting to hang out at. They're a little far for me. They're in Marrickville, but I went a few weeks ago and they've got a nice little setup there with plenty of tables, plenty of people turning up on the regular to play D&D, Warhammer, you know, lots of miniature tabletop stuff. And yeah, it's pretty cool. You just donate like $5, I think, when you go in, and you can stay there all day.
You're trying to get free entry?
No, I think I'd put money in either way just to like support the community. But yeah, it's a cool place. It's not enough. It's the only one, as far as I know, in Sydney.
See, he's real like down to earth now, but when we make it, he's gonna be the biggest asshole. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm not that down to earth. Wouldn't be that much of a leap to being a big asshole. Put it that way. Because we want to try and get through this. If we're going to do this on a more regular basis.
What did I say about that fucking website? What did I say about that website?
I don't think comicbook.com's that bad. I would never use We've Got This Covered. That's a shitty website. But
I am still mad about them spoiling Game of Thrones.
Okay. Well, you know. How long after the episode did they spoil it?
About 5 minutes.
I still say if you're a real fan, you would have seen it.
I was at work!
Okay. Was it in the headline?
Yes!
Yeah, that's not good. Alright. Everyone makes mistakes.
Jon Snow is confirmed to be a fucking blah 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 blah.
What, dead and then came back? Or?
No, it was when he was confirmed to be the fucking nephew of fucking Daenerys.
Yeah, it's not such a big deal. I'd be more pissed off if, like, immediately after the episode they were like, yeah, Jon Snow kills blah blah blah, and then is like...
Oh, I bet you they probably fucking did that, because once they did that, I fucking unliked that page.
No, fair enough. I don't know where I saw this, but Paul Bettany has confirmed in an interview that Vision, probably the character he's most famous for at the moment, does have a purple penis to match the rest of it.
Okay, so I'm going to state...
That's the question we've all been asking.
I'm going to state that he has no authority to say this. This is all just him. As a legal representative of Marvel. This is not canon. This is...
I mean, who's spending hours in the makeup chair? It's Paul.
If
anyone's going to know.
As again, Vision does not have a purple penis, nor does Vision have a penis. As from the legal team of Marvel, which I...
Come on, look at Jennifer Olsen. There's no way he's not, you know, in character.
He may have he may have a purple strap on for all I know, but a purple penis. No.
Imagine the advantage he's got. All he has to do is turn it up to 11, and the fireworks are going. So
there is no purple penis. No. There's no purple penis.
Oh, agree to disagree. Moving on. Sia defends her movie music against critics over autism representation.
You know,
from the brief skim read that I did, I think the issue that people are having is that some of the people that are playing autistic characters aren't actually autistic. So it's that whole sort of thing. It's like the whole transgender actors deal.
My take on this is with Sia specifically is Paul Bettany did not see a purple penis.
Well, we'll have to do a deep dive on that, and if I can find an official source other than the actor.
Okay, if you can find an official source, you cannot go to Raw 34.
What's Raw 34? Raw 34, you mean? God damn it.
That's what I said.
You said Raw. Okay, so I don't know where you stand on that. I don't think from the brief, again, I haven't really
I don't even know what movie this is referring to.
No, it's a music video because she's an artist that does music, and
also that's
doesn't sound like that big a deal, but then I'm relatively like, when you're normal.
Is Sia the one that does the Fringe?
Possibly.
Joe, this is why I don't recognise it. I'm not sure which one's
Sia. Isn't that Billie Eilish?
I'm not sure which one's Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish. I don't think we'll have to click on the goddamn article.
That's definitely not Billie Eilish.
The chandelier, no, Billie Eilish is like 16, Sia's like 44.
Billie Eilish is 18.
Oh, fuck off, MSN. It's a movie. It is actually a movie. Okay, it stars Kate Hudson as Zoo, a recently sober drug dealer who becomes guardian of her younger sister named Music. Jesus. A special needs teen who communicates...
How much pot did her mother smoke?
Yeah, through a device that speaks for her. And
I want to call her Sunshine. And here is her brother, Rain.
After the first trailer dropped, it's a 1-minute teaser, they slammed the decision to have Sia's frequent collaborator, Ziegler, 18, cast in the title role.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Rather than an actor on
the autism spectrum. Me jumping on there.
So that's what I thought it was. They're like, why aren't they autistic? But why has no one had this problem with so many of like the different TV series there's been in the last couple of years that have had people that aren't autistic playing autistic characters, like Abed in Community. Definitely not autistic. There's a really good like sitcom. Can't remember the name right now.
Again, I just
the main character is super autistic. I don't know. Is it offensive to say put it like that? But like he's really like fully on the spectrum.
Again, the hill that I'm dying on is just like it's the best actor for the job.
And speaking of that whole drama, welcome to good old. Was it Elliot?
I don't know. You're not looking at anything.
No, I'm not looking at anything. But we should know this because it's been all
in
the news.
Oh.
I mean, you watch this show, The Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, I don't know what Elliot's last name is though.
I do all the time.
Actor in Juno.
Page. Elliot Page. And Susan something on Channel 7.
Susan Sarandon, right?
No, like one of the hosts of this Australian like breakfast show that I never watched.
The only
but misgendered pronoun. His pronouns. See, I almost did it myself and had to make a huge apology on Twitter and everything. Yeah, and it was just so like boomer. She was like, I'm so like confused. I don't understand what pronoun I'm supposed to use. I'm sorry, I'm just old. And it's like, no, he was a chick. Now he's a dude. It's not that complicated. Like, just roll with it.
Well,
I don't
you just
see the
fucked
issue
up.
there.
Yeah, now we're cancelled.
Why?
Because he was never a chick. He was always a dude.
Okay, fair enough. That could be true. But what if you're fluid? You know, the gender fluid. That means you're like male. Then the next day you might be female or present as whatever.
Or neither.
So,
but at the same point,
you're not sure.
He's not saying he's gender fluid. He's saying he's a dude.
Yeah, now. But he might also say. See, I read the letter.
Yes, but currently he is saying he is a dude.
That's the point. Currently, but you can't say.
But you can't say to me right now. What if you're going to be a chick in 2 days?
No, you wouldn't say that. That'd be stupid.
No, but currently I'm a dude.
Yeah, fine. That's great. But I'm talking about like 10 years ago.
Yes, but that's dead. But that's dead.
Yeah, I wouldn't dead name him.
But it's sort of the same thing.
I don't know if it ever will, but
that's a whole thing that they're going to be really fucking annoyed at you about.
What?
But if you say he was a chick and now he's a dude, no, he never was a chick. He was always a dude. Trust me.
I don't know. Well, I'm happy. It might sound like craven, but like, okay, even if that creates a bit of controversy, if it gets anyone to respond to this, then fair enough. I'm happy. I'm happy to stand corrected, but I think it depends on the person. Yeah, I know. I think that's clear. I think it depends on the person. I don't think that's a flat out rule forever. Obviously, you wouldn't dead name, but you might be like, okay, in the past, they had a different gender. It's a factual thing to say that they presented as a different gender in the past, and now they are this gender. So that's my point. And,
it's the situation of they may have always sort of known, but they weren't They went out. Is that
I
circumstance?
mean, I'm sure they've not been out yet for a while, but who knows how long. Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to belittle anything here. I'm just saying, like...
Thank you for watching the Banana Split podcast before we were cancelled. Tune into the Scum podcast coming in soon.
Yeah, good luck distancing yourself from this. It's only the beginning. No, if that's the worst, if that's what I get cancelled for, I'm going to thank you. If that's what it is, it could be a lot worse.
Hold up, let me just get the police computer out. Google it.
What am I looking at here? Oh, right, there's a cosplay group called the Replica Prop Forum, which is also, funnily enough, a forum, like an actual website that's been around forever. And there's so we're doing some serious, there's at least 2 different...
Are we doing a lot of cancelling this episode?
There's 2 different things I want to cancel.
Oh, I saw the
there's
other cancellation.
Fanatic Effects. They might be Fanatic FX. Like, it's either Fanatic, the word, and then the letters FX.
Or Fan Addict FX.
Or they have 2 pages, obviously. Or Fanatic, the word, and then the word FX. So they are basically being complete dicks because someone was trying to find... They make props, they sell costumes and things like that. They're basically a prop maker that has a store online, Etsy, whatever, Facebook page. And this guy's like, where's my shit? And they're making fun of him for his weight. They're fat shaming and not body shaming, whatever. So, screw those guys. We should post their name. So fuck those guys. Anyway, moving on. The other cancellation, I think, see, I'm doing this way out of order, but it's just got to flow naturally. So I'll go off my memory, but it's basically called The Goddamn Batman. Is that the one you were talking about? The other cancellation?
No, that wasn't the one I was thinking.
Okay, well, this is the one I'm thinking of. And they're a page that has somehow 105,000 likes and hopefully a few less.
Oh, I saw that one, yeah.
Yeah, no, he just posted this, and it is on topic because it was the meme about Elliot Page.
I saw that and I just went, I don't get it, and I just kept going.
Yeah, no, it was just a really dumb, boomery sort of I can have all this attention.
I don't know if I'm being ignorant, but I don't get what they were going for at all.
No, and I don't think one of the admins did either. There's the main admin, and then there's the Prince Clown or whatever that posted the meme. Because, they're one of those pages.
I really hope that hasn't been taken down, because if it has, I'm not going to be able to find that to put that up there.
Well, it's in Cosplay and Action Group, it's in a few different places. Yeah. It should still be, I'm sure I'll be able to find a version of it. God, there it is. Okay, so it's Elliot Page, and then underneath it's some idiot that the admin of the page keeps using. It's this character, and that's what it's all about.
I don't get what he's. Okay, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look at here to where the image is gonna be. I don't get what the finally I'm a victim is implying. I don't understand the context of this whatsoever.
Right. Well, that's probably a good sign regarding your character, because for a lot of right-wing boomer heads, and boomer isn't necessarily anymore just a Dateline.
Oh no, it's a personality.
Yeah. Okay. Language evolves.
I'd be willing to put.
And I was on the wrong side of that for a while. When it first started being used as OK Boomer and all that, I was like, because people would say it to me sometimes. I'm like, fuck you. I was born in 1979. I'm Gen X. And then I did some Googling and read enough articles. And I was like, okay, I can be educated, and realised that it's also complete Karens.
Every single Karen is good.
Yeah. 100%.
But yeah. I don't fucking know.
So there's a prevailing meme or apprehension that when someone comes out as transgender, and then the first joke you'll hear is, the first tired old thing is oh, well, why can't, and we had a little bit of this in the cosplay.
Why can't I be a microwave?
Can I not identify as a millionaire and then have lots of money? Where's all the laughter? God, I'm edgy and brave. Or it's why can't I identify as a Comanche Apache attack helicopter or whatever.
I've seen that one, yeah.
Right, so it's a riff off that of that whole right wing, seeing anyone as actually brave enough to come out and go, hey, I'm actually this person, not what I was born as, and now I've learnt enough about myself and I'm confident enough to finally present my actual real inner self to the world. And these people go, oh, you're just being a victim. You just want attention. And that's where it comes from.
I still don't understand why it makes
sense.
No, I get it. I just think it's...
obviously it's stupid and not funny, but like that's what they're going for. Like, no, finally I'm a victim, so I can. The only reason I'm using this announcement is to like have a victim mentality.
I don't understand how it's implying that they're a victim, but anyway.
Because they're saying finally I'm a victim.
I get that, but how are you implying? Are they implying that Elliot Page is a victim?
Yes.
But then, fuck it.
Because that's what the right wing does. They're like, the only reason anyone would be transgender or a different colour.
A victim of what?
That's the point. They're not really a victim. The right wing is like making the case, and badly, that the only reason people would be gay or transgender or any of these like, you know, things that fall outside their limited scope of understanding of the real world, they're like, well, they would only do that because I don't understand it. So the reason they're doing it is for attention and to be a victim because they feel like they're not getting, you know, treated fairly, and they want us to treat them better than we get treated. So they're using like a victim mentality. So that's the whole thing behind it.
This is not a thing that I would see coming, but on this episode of the podcast, Pat explains to Jaden a fucked up and really inappropriate
I don't know
joke.
how much clearer I can be. I mean, obviously I'm
No, you get
no.
You completely explained it. It just does not make sense. Either way, I get it. No, it makes sense, but it's stupid. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Okay, you get what they're trying to say. It's still stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's stupid and it doesn't actually work. If I was a right-winged I was going to say racist. I'll leave that in. Fine. Yeah. Okay. If I was a right-winged racist and I saw that, I still wouldn't think it was funny.
Right-winged. Like I can almost see the wings. What colour would they be? So...
They'd be obviously red.
Yeah, no,
blue.
you're obviously just not in that world because I'm still in too many of these stupid political groups and I see the kind of bullshit and drivel that comes out of their mouths.
Yeah, I see.
So, you know, I'm just like, oh, that's how they see the world.
And you question why I choose nihilism.
Not really, yeah. I've seen the abyss and stared back. So
it's a good place.
This jumps out at me every time because I love The Expanse and you should all watch it. The 5th season is dropping soon. 6th season will unfortunately be its last, but at least it's getting 6, so it should get enough time to like wrap up most of the story and stick to the novels.
Explain Expanse badly to me.
Star Wars crossed with Blade Runner.
I said badly,
okay,
not in one sentence.
Off the top of my head. Okay. It's a bunch of like trash collectors bouncing around the universe trying to figure out why they've all like fallen in love with each other regardless of which gender or body type or where they were born, and they don't know which way gravity is, and now I'm just fucking riffing. It's really hard to explain something badly in a funny way. It's just...
I need to share
It's a
stuff.
good show.
I need to share stuff that I've seen and he hasn't, and then he needs to go to me. Explain it badly. Needs to be fair.
No, I know that's a Reddit
thing. You know what?
I know that's a thing.
Yeah, that's the point. This is next episode. That's a segment. Yeah, we're each gonna bring something. We're gonna explain something badly.
Yeah, I will need some prep time though, because I'm not very good at I've had no experience improvising.
What we'll do.
I need to go to improv school, man.
What we'll do is
where's the nearest Growlings?
We will each. A couple days before the podcast, we will each write a list and we'll send it to the other and go, what of this have you seen? And then we'll take it off the fucking list. And then you can prepare all of that and I'll prepare all of that and we'll put it into a fucking randomized app and you get one of them and I get one of them.
I'll have to look at examples of it because I've got no idea how it's supposed to sound. I just, by nature, want to explain it accurately. So it's really hard for me to do it because it's supposed to be kind of on point but also funny. I don't get how that works. I'll do some research and get back to you. Someone already has a copy of Cyberpunk. I think there's a few early release review copies out there.
Yeah,
because I know I've seen a release by Project Red telling or pleading with people not to release any footage or in-game streaming type things until it's publicly, the day after release or whatever.
Which is December 10th?
Yeah, it's still on track. They haven't delayed it again
since. They're like, listen, we promise.
It's 6 days away, so let's get there.
Just wait till December 5th.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Exactly, and tomorrow they'll go, well...
Actually...
Imagine if it does happen though and I just call it right here.
Yeah, we'd have to get this out real fast.
Well,
and how would we prove we did this the day before? There's no timestamp. They'd just be like, yeah, you just went and shot that, like, after you found out.
Yeah, but we'll know.
Yeah,
That's all
we'll
that
always
matters.
know. So I've been following this story for a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, the monoliths.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone's seen the Space Odyssey. And it's basically a metal, giant, solid slab of phallic monolithness.
What? I wouldn't say phallic.
No,
Doesn't
it's
have
a straight up-
balls.
Phallic doesn't necessarily need
Well, even
balls.
then, like...
I mean, there's that giant Washington Monument. That's always seen as phallic, and no balls there.
Yeah, but it's
Um,
like, it's a metal reflective fucking rectangle that goes up. I wouldn't call
straight
it...
up.
I wouldn't call that phallic.
Mhm.
It's the reflectiveness that I think that is what does it.
Well, and it's also the reference to Space Odyssey, and it's clearly some like kooky artist that has a ton of money because they're popping up all over the world. There's one in California, one in the desert was the first one that was spotted in remote, like Utah. So eventually someone.
What's that London one? Who's
London.
an
I
artist?
know there was one in like Romania.
What's that London artist who's like super?
Oh,
famous?
Banksy.
Yeah, it's
I don't
Banksy.
think it's Banksy.
It's
He does
Banksy.
graffiti. This is like
Yeah, this is Banksy. I'm telling you, you break it open, it's just gonna pill out with Banksy.
it's the new Banksy.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. A photographer got there early in the morning, a few days after it had been like the location was discovered of the original
cool.
one. And no, well, he got shots of people removing it. Like there was guys in these weird spacesuit things, like breaking it down and taking it away. So
I'd like to think at this point now with Banksy.
it's definitely humans. Unfortunately, we did get a bit excited and we're hoping it was aliens, but no, it is just some random artist.
At this point with
Still think it's
Banksy,
cool.
Banksy. It's really hard for Banksy to be an individual person at this at this point where even if Banksy dies, Banksy will live on. I feel like someone else will eventually realize that Banksy is dead and take the moniker of Banksy.
Yeah, but I think it would be pretty obvious if in like 50 years there's still like Banksy stuff going up. Or if it could be passed down through like a family line. Have you seen, I think it's through the shop front or through the exit through the gift shop, the documentary about Banksy?
No, but you should explain the plot blandly.
So it's a documentary.
You
so
should
it's
explain the plot
it's just like
blandly.
following a bunch of people that he's dealt with and basically speculating on who he could be, but mostly just following the artwork.
Yeah, and you just failed my class to explain the plot.
Someone's going to have to take me through this whole like, you know, the concept of explaining things badly because I just don't get it. So Kristen Stewart got in a bit of trouble recently as well for not being gay, and she is playing a gay character in some film that she's in soon.
So is Neil Patrick Harris not allowed to play straight characters?
Well, was that the first comment?
Yeah, I saw Neil
Yeah,
Patrick
okay.
Harris, so I just assumed.
Yeah. I mean, that's the issue because there's a lot of, like with the whole Elliot Page thing, people are like, oh, well, how can he play a female as Vanya when, you know, apparently trans people should only,
As again,
you know, that whole thing.
best actor for the job. It's
Yeah.
one of those things that you can't just fucking like.
I'm with you mostly, but I still think representation matters. So there's got to be a little bit of like help. If there's zero transgender people out there, and like it's mostly cishet like people playing all the roles, then it can be okay to like put your foot on the scales a little bit. He's been playing Vanya for 2 seasons already, so and they've confirmed that he will keep playing Vanya as the character.
So you know what you did there? You know what you did there is when you did fuck up and you're gonna do your seamless editing of that.
Yes, I will.
You started the sentence the exact same way, which is smart.
Right.
And like I remember like 4 episodes ago when I go, I'm gonna have to edit this part out.
a long
Can
memory.
you say the exact same sentence you said when you started it at the beginning? And you know, what's that? Well, it started with these specific words, and then you just completely changed them on me, and I went.
Yep.
Anyway,
I
back
don't remember that at all.
to the.
So what did she actually say?
Speaking of actors and all that, I feel like it kind of depends on the role within the film or TV, because like, not to say you can't have a transgender or gay or that correct casting
Right.
as the lead, but it's more of conventionally, I don't think it'll happen due to Hollywood. They'll want someone with an actual name. It's one of those circumstances where you can't cast a random nobody who's a transgender actress in a fucking...
Well, that's why they used
thing.
Elliot Redmayne or whatever his
Yeah,
name is.
it's like, it's that situation where they have to build up their career as well. Like, I don't want anyone
How
to
does someone get on that first step on the ladder? That's the problem.
I don't want anyone to have special privileges, is what I'm saying.
I mean, there was that one transgender actress that was in Orange is the New Black. I haven't seen them since. So it's hard when you call it non-binary actors. There's that one in like Star Trek, which I haven't been watching the latest season, and it's dropping every week, and I've really been meaning Discovery.
Yeah.
Apparently quite good.
Did you discover that or?
What?
Discovery.
Hey, that took me way too long. Anyway, this is what Kristen Stewart said. I think about this all the time, being somebody who has had so much access to work. I've just lived with such a creative abundance. You know, a young white girl who was straight and only really was gay later, and he's like skinny. Do you know what I'm saying? I so acknowledge that I've gotten lots of work. I would never want to tell a story that really should be told by somebody who's lived that experience. Having said that, it's a slippery slope conversation, because that means I could never play another straight character if I'm going to hold everyone to the letter of this particular law. I think it's such a grey area. See, I agree with that. It's definitely a grey area. I will say Mackenzie is not somebody who identifies as a lesbian. She was the only person in my mind that could have played this with me. Sometimes, artfully speaking, you're just drawn to a certain group of people. So my answer is fucking think about what you're doing and don't be an asshole. Wise words.
I don't know who swore more than me or her.
Kate Blanchett said something a bit more forward. I will fight to the death for the right to suspend disbelief and play roles beyond my experience. Which is, like, she played a lesbian in Carol, and she also played a man.
I mean, look at the roles Jared Leto has played.
No, it was Bob Dylan. Yeah, she played him. So.
I mean, look at the roles Jared Leto has played.
And Scarlett Johansson said, an actor should be allowed to play any person or any tree or any animal. But she did step down from playing a transgender character.
Here's the thing: if I'm in the 3rd grade and in the school musical I got made a tree, all right? Yeah.
That's sort of a trope. I've never actually seen that.
Obviously, it's a trope. That's why I said it didn't actually happen.
No.
It's a gimmick and a joke.
But it's just weird that it keeps popping up, and I've never seen it in real life. My son's just started high school. I can just mention with the stupid enrollment fee. At least he's getting 80% off the yearly fee, which is like 20 grand. Otherwise, it'd be really pushing the bounds of what I could afford. But I'm hoping they've got a strong drama program, and he's in a play, and I can finally see him play a tree. That's my dream.
It's when you just go up to the fucking drama teacher and just slip him some cash.
Yeah. So,
only a tree.
Given it's like a pretty fancy private school in the eastern suburbs, I don't think there's much.
Only a tree.
But funnily enough, that's just been in the news. They're not allowed to give teachers anything more than like a $20 gift, because there's a lot of.
Only a tree.
Right.
You give them.
Oh yeah, this has been
gifts.
a thing as well. Up till this point on YouTube, if you don't want ads, you just tell YouTube not to put ads in your content. And I don't know if we have ads in this thing yet.
I don't think so.
No.
YouTube saw us and went, okay.
But pretty soon that's going to get taken out of our hands, or it already has been. Yeah, YouTube's changed it so there's no creator control over that. They're going to put ads in no matter what.
Yeah, so they're getting real bad with it. It used to be like 1 5-10 second ad. Now it's like, 2 ads.
Yeah.
If you don't skip the 1 ad, it'll make you watch the second one as well.
Yeah, they're really punishing people for not paying for premium. And that's part of the reason, ironically, that I won't pay for premium, because they're being such dicks about it. It's not like they're starved of money. They've made a ton of money since this pandemic even. It's like one of those companies that's done really well.
Yeah.
Out of the...
Because everyone's at home watching YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. So it's official. I think we mentioned the rumour last episode
that
Mads Mikkelsen is replacing Johnny Depp in Fantastic Beasts 3. And like I said, it's a good move because he's definitely the go-to evil archetype. Like we had him in the Marvel Universe as, was that in the Doctor Strange movie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very menacing, very sort of mysterious and dark, and it works. So, be interesting to see. I mean, if any universe that they're going to do it in, it makes sense to do it in the Harry Potter world, or I don't know what else you would call it. I know it's not a Harry Potter movie.
The Potterverse.
The Potterverse, okay. Still using his name, but fair enough. He was the original. Wonder Woman 1984, not going to be streaming here like it will be everywhere else in the world.
That makes sense. We do have movie theaters.
We actually have cinemas, so there's a reason for that. Even though there's a lot of outrage for some reason online, like, why don't we get it on our HBO?
Also, it's like...
Wait, we don't have HBO.
It's going to be cheaper for us to go to the fucking movies than it is to be sitting at home and spend $30 fucking
well, I don't
on
think
Mulan.
they're charging...
Oh, speaking of Mulan, that's on Disney Plus now.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the thing with HBO, they're not charging $30. They're just putting out all the movies at the same time. That's just been released as well. as they drop in cinemas. So there's drive-ins and some less lockdown states in America that do have cinemas. But so the two-pronged approach that they're having is basically, the day it releases in the cinema is the same day that it starts streaming on HBO Max. And compared to the numbers that other competing services have, like Disney Plus, who draw a lot of people in with Hamilton and good old Mulan and other shows, compared to the numbers they have for Netflix, obviously, which is the big one at the moment, I love how everyone else was just like, whatever, who's going to go online to watch stuff? And that's how Netflix just became the monolith that it is. But they've got to keep moving. They can't just stand still, because now all the big boys are trying to get in there. And Disney Plus has made some big inroads. And HBO Max, I think
big inroads. Star Wars.
Yeah, well, that's, again, part of Disney Plus has got a huge subscriber base. Yeah, I finally know his name. I'm assuming you watched...
Thrawn.
Did they drop another episode tonight?
Yes.
Fuck. I have to watch that. Thrawn, yeah. So the director of the most recent Mandalorian was the creator of Ahsoka Tano. He got a lot of firsts. He was the director in charge when we get to know Baby Yoda's name, and a lot of other firsts, like mentioning all these characters that he'd created. Like I think the Thrawn thing, I don't know if he came up with that guy, but there's a lot of stuff that wasn't clear that was canon.
What
we'll
say is
definitely being brought in.
The people,
to live action.
The Star Wars fans who are like the comics, the books, and all that, who the extended universe, they're making shit happen for you.
Yeah, and it's the new way to watch Star Wars. It's episodic. You're spending as much.
Oh, yeah, because Star Wars wasn't episodic before.
Well, it's shorter, and it's more drawn out. Well, I mean, you had to wait years between the films. Now you just it's been a couple of weeks,
and
we'll
years
get another 10
episodes
and a year between
next
the
seasons.
Year. Yeah, it's more frequent, and I think the quality is better than. I mean, people go on about the originals. I don't know, they weren't perfect.
I mean, TV's always sort of, I feel like, been the way to go for most things, especially if you're trying to make a profit wise, TV does usually significantly better than movies if you can get syndicated and shit on specific things.
Yeah, and then the actors do really well. It was a good episode. We got to see a Jedi for the first time, and she's not just any sort of up and coming wannabe Jedi. She is a proper.
Yeah, she's been around for a while. That's Ahsoka at her prime.
In the Clone Wars, she was a teenager or whatever. Now she's fully achieved peak Jedi.
Speaking of,
to the point she was so good she walked away from the Jedi.
Speaking of Thrawn, I keep seeing suggestions and theories on who is going to play Thrawn. And the top one, I'm blanking on his name, but he played Lucius Malfoy in the Harry Potter series.
These names on my tongue as well. He recently was in a Chinese movie where he played an Elon Musk character, and he had a really good South African accent because he wanted to base it on Elon Musk. And then after he'd done the movie, he realised that Elon Musk didn't have a South African accent. But it was a really silly thing. They spent millions on it, and it's basically someone builds a resort, Jurassic Park style, on the inside of a dormant volcano. And obviously, halfway through the movie, it's not.
Yeah, if I'm gonna build a resort, I would build off on a fairly decent sized island. I'd build a fucking city, a city. A full, I want a series of islands, but specifically this one city, right? And you just you enclose the entire island and the city with just LEDs, fucking reflective and all that shit.
Cool.
It's called Midnight City, and the time is always fucking midnight. It is always dark.
That sounds really cool, but you got to be pretty sure that volcano's dead.
Well, I never said there was a volcano. I said I had an island.
Oh, right, okay. I just was still stuck in volcano land. You were like, forget about that. Let's go to an island.
Yeah.
All right, fair.
You said build a resort.
Yeah. Okay, you took resort. I was just still volcanoes are bad.
Yeah. Volcanoes are bad. Okay.
It's apparently it's so bad it's good though. So I'll be looking out for that. This one I like. I don't really need to click on it, but.
I thought it was
we can't go an episode without mentioning Red Dead Redemption, which
not from my choice, obviously.
I know, he loves it, and
I
just forgot how far along we'd come with graphics, and they're so good with Red Dead Redemption apparently. And there's the shot that this guy. It's the second time she'd gotten away with it. His daughter had sent in a screenshot from Red Dead Redemption to a TV station in Oregon for some out and about like competition where people.
Oh, it's like what Channel 10 does here, where you send them in a photo of you, like of nature and shit, where you're outside, or like a nice sunset or sunrise, and they'll put it up there during the weather segments.
Yeah, and I guess looking at the photo, knowing that it's Red Dead, fairly obvious, but if you didn't know,
you're like, that might be Colorado.
Yeah, that must have been a good hike to get out there.
Yeah.
Must have taken you all day to get up in those hills.
Yeah.
There's rumours or leaks that they are going to do a Red Dead Redemption, remaster for the PS5.
Hey, I just want Undead Nightmare 2. That's all I want.
Yeah, they're so lazy. We love them, but Jesus Christ. More content, please. That's not just...
GTA Online!
Yeah. God damn it. PS5 users are reportedly getting banned for selling their PS Plus collection unlocks to PS4 owners. I don't understand what's going on here. I don't know if you've read it.
I'm really assuming
there's a library of 20 PS4 games that are given exclusively to PS5 owners.
PS Plus.
And some owners have begun exploiting a loophole which sees them log into the user accounts of PS4 owners, which causes a collection to automatically unlock on the user's last-gen console. It's a perk for owners of PS5 consoles only. And now you can list the unlock code. They're charging 20 users £5 each to unlock the collection on their PS4 console. And because he'd made £100 doing that. And then got banned. So don't try that. Sony are onto you. Do the right thing. Pay for your legit shit. I don't know how people get time to play that many games. Oh, there's the article about Red Dead. And then, I thought this was cool. I'm not a big fan of the game myself.
Yeah, but you know what it is on?
Vault-Tec. Fallout 76. Let's start with that.
That's what I'll keep doing. I will keep sucking that Xbox Game Pass dick.
Yeah, I can't go.
You can't cut that out now because I reference Game Pass.
Ah, jeez. I just started so badly. Fallout 76, essentially, someone complained that there was no wheelchair access, and they put it in there. And
but can you play?
They added wheelchairs as well.
Can you play a paraplegic character?
I mean, you can get crippled by a landmine from memory, and then you kind of limp it around if that counts.
But can you push yourself in the wheelchair? Are they functional wheelchairs?
They must have done that, surely. I'm not going to click on that, but from what I've seen, yes.
I'm going to have to click on it later when I do the editing. And it'll either say...
There's not just going to be a wheelchair lying around, because I've seen wheelchairs in the game before that aren't functional, where there's like a skeleton sitting there with a newspaper or something. Yeah.
And it's like it's in the grocery mart next to Diamond City.
Yeah, no, there's a whole bunch. Even back in like New Vegas, I might be just thinking deck chairs at that point. But in memoriam, yep, Dave Prowse, not the voice, but the guy that walked around in the Darth Vader suit in the original films, passed away at the age of 85. So may the force be with you, old dude.
Yeah.
Of course, there's already a Cyberpunk 2077 porn parody. I got to check that out. If it's actually those two girls in the banner, I've got to click on that at some point. Leave that for later.
That has a type. That has a type.
I mean, the blue hair, the cyber stuff, the LEDs, it's just going to kill me.
The women.
So,
Not just talking about the men, obviously. What?
No, well, if they can really, I'd be really impressed if they go full hardcore, like I've mad Cyberpunk. Not just some makeup, but like parts of their face that detach and
implanted.
Yeah. I don't know, if they go like all out and make it...
Why would you ever do that?
Like in the game, you can like open up parts of your arm and like put chips in and all that sort of thing. That would impress me.
You know what I can also do in a game? I can be a bandicoot.
In Cyberpunk? You're just talking about games in general?
Yeah, games in general.
Don't point me.
Because I'm still saying it's...
What's this Reddit article?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, so The Mandalorian is so popular that it became the first Disney Plus show to make Nielsen's streaming top 10 list. So
Who's
that's
Nielsen?
Cool. Nielsen's like the ratings guide that they use in America to determine whether a show's doing well. So,
it's the ratings.
If you're at the top of that, then they're going to be around for a while. The Xbox Series X and S is compatible with PS2 games.
Yeah, you're going to want to read that.
That's not making any sense.
You're going to want to read that.
Okay. So thanks to Developer Mode, a feature that's enabled on the Xbox Series S, so hard to keep track of these names. You can run RetroArch emulation, and you can get PS2 games like God of War, Shadow of the Colossus, and God Hand and more working via Xbox Series S. But how are you getting those? You're not putting the disc into the Xbox. You're downloading the game.
I doubt it. I doubt you physically putting the disc in. I assume it. You might be able to, but it's more of ROM-based USB files and stuff.
Yeah, with emulators, you're generally finding like a download.
A ROM.
Yeah.
A ROM or a CD file.
Yeah, so because I've only used them with, like, back in the day, when I was in Asia, you could buy, like, huge, they were just basically SD cards filled with games, and you could plug that in and go to town. Which is a bit naughty of me, but hey. It was the early 2000s, man. It was the Wild West.
I just want to state that piracy is wrong.
Yes.
And
not encourage it.
We do not encourage it here on the Banana Split podcast. And question, what's the... how long before you can't be prosecuted for piracy?
Do you mean the statute of limitations?
Yeah, what's the statute of limitations of piracy?
I have no idea. Let's go with 10 years.
You'll find out.
You need some solid proof other than just someone saying on a YouTube video. Like,
That sounds like a confession to me. I'll be a character witness. Yeah, Pat's a bad man. He hits his cats. It's just...
You have no idea. Dwayne Johnson and Tyrese Gibson, apparently they were feuding. If you watch like any of the movies they're in together, they're never in the same scene. So, or if they are, it's like, I think that was also with Vin Diesel. So I don't know if Dwayne's feud with Vin Diesel is over, because that was another thing. They would always be like cutting away and just artfully shooting around the fact that they didn't want to be in the same scene. And obviously The Rock's a little taller than Vin Diesel, and they didn't want to ever show how much taller.
And bigger and bolder.
Yeah, he's basically like an evolved Pokemon version of Vin Diesel.
And significantly more famous.
I don't know if you could say rescued the franchise, but he certainly elevated it.
He rescued the franchise.
Yeah. Well, it was probably always going to do okay, but he put it in the stratosphere.
He made it back. It would have been like a B movie at this point.
Yeah, no, he revitalised it. I don't know. The Rock's just... Keys Byrne, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he was a Mortan Joe in Mad Max, and he didn't quite make it as far as Prowse. Well, no, he's certainly not immortal. He died at 73. Rest in peace, my man. I don't know when the last time you watched the original Mad Max was, or I think it was...
Ironically, it was on TV like the other day.
He was also in Fury Road, like, he was in the originals and then the remake. It was on TV? Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, respect to him. So this just popped up 3 hours ago.
Yeah, this was the other cancellation.
Yeah. Well, I don't think she should be cancelled. I think she needs some help from her friends. I'm sure she's a lovely young girl, and as
how old is she?
I have no idea. I'm not
35.
Sure no, she's probably early 20s.
I feel like this is something we can just quickly Google.
And she's going to be around. No, you can do it in your edit. More work. She retweeted like a video. It's like an anti-vax, transphobic. It's all these awful things in one, and conspiracy thing. So a whole bunch of people just like brigaded her Twitter feed, and were like, "What the fuck?" She was our bright hope, our young shining star, ready to take up the gauntlet of the Black Panther, and either be the next Black Panther or be a significant part of the Marvel Universe as a young black rising female star. So this would definitely be a blot on that career. Can someone fix that door? I don't know where it was, but Letitia, please come back to us.
Letitia?
Letitia Wright.
Okay.
That's her name. And even Rhodes, he's like a mad big actor.
Come on.
I have to read the article, because they do mention his actual name. Because I did get, a lot of it's just like screen caps of tweets knocking her down. And they do mention, like, instead of "bye Felicia," his one tweet to her was "bye Letitia." And then he had to clarify that because it sounded like he was really dissing her. But he's like, she's my little sis, we're good. Don Cheadle, he just made the pun on the phrase "bye Felicia," usually used to dismiss unpleasant people. But in a follow-up tweet, he insisted he meant no ill will and considers Wright my little sis. So, they're cool, I'm sure. It's just a little bit of fun online. She's just going a little bit, off the reservation there. So, I love her work, and she was one of the best parts of... She really grounded the Black Panther. That whole, like, "what are those?" and just brought this, like, effervescent, bubbling sense of humour to it. And it's just that's the last person I expected to ever see embroiled in any kind of controversy. It's almost like your last episode reference to Baby Yoda getting cancelled. It's about as, like, I expected Baby Yoda to say something online before her. So that's a bit of a shock. I'm sure it'll be all resolved by the next time we meet. And then the last stuff was just a couple of shows I've been watching. Truth Seekers I started watching tonight. It's a new Simon Pegg joint. I can't remember the... Nick Frost.
How do you not
remember? The main character. I know. I just... For some reason his name always just leaks out. But he's really good. He's like the main character. And then there's a guy that hangs out with him. He's like a ghost hunting mobile... It's called 6G, what they're installing. But it's set now, basically. It's set in some, like, indeterminate contemporary period. But it's just a really cool like comedy horror type thing. It reminds me of Spaced and Shaun of the Dead. Jump on that. It's on Amazon Prime. Another show that's quite good and on Amazon Prime and written by the original writers of Deadpool is Wayne. So like I was saying before, it's supposed to be on YouTube. I think it was for a second, and then like Cobra Kai, it got pulled over to Netflix, and in this case, Amazon Prime. Done a lot better in the proper...
You know what my favourite thing about this is? You told me to watch some, right?
Yep.
I didn't, because
right,
I didn't know how I was going to access it, because you didn't tell me it was Amazon Prime.
Well, you could have Googled it, but fair enough. Yep.
Or, yeah, but then I would have had to go and search it for it. Yeah. And that was extra work. You could have said it's on Amazon, and I would have gone, yeah, alright.
Okay, well, now you know. Yeah. So hopefully get your take on it next time. We'll do a proper review then.
Is it new or has it been out for years?
I think it's only... It was made in 2019 because it was for YouTube, but it's only new on Prime. And it just jumps out at you and grabs you by the neck and grinds you into the pavement. Like it's just a really raw, visceral... The guy who wrote it's from Boston, Massachusetts. It's this couple that just find each other amidst all this like awful... I don't know if you've ever watched Shameless.
Yes, I love Shameless.
Yeah, well, if you like Shameless, you'll like this.
Okay.
I've got a feeling it's right up your alley. So, the guy doesn't seem to be able to feel pain. The main character, who's like 16, he falls in love with a 15-year-old whose family are an absolute psychotic group of nutjobs. And so they're basically being chased by them who... Well, I'll just let you watch it. And that was probably a good, bad explanation.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible.
And, you know, I don't think you speak a lot of Russian, but you could probably understand it. I needed subtitles for this. It's called To the Lake, and I think it was on Amazon.
I mean, what I can say is, Poshel na koi pizda.
Agreed. So,
the translation to that is, fuck off, cunt.
That works for me too. I stand by what I said. So, it's really weird timing because it was filmed in like 2020. Or like late 2019, definitely before the pandemic was a thing, but it's essentially like a huge pandemic breaks out in Moscow, and these two families are trying to get out of there and go to this lake that some grandfather's, it's like well stocked and I've been building it for years and we'll live on this lake and we'll have everything we need, because it's a little bit worse than coronavirus, to be honest. People get they die within a day or two, they get this weird like zombie eye thing.
Trumpitis.
Basically, the world falls apart within 24 hours.
Remember.
Like, soldiers become like looters and rapists, and there's mass crowds of people just running around causing mayhem, and it's very similar to 28 Hours Later.
28 Days Later?
28 Days Later, even.
It's 28 Days Later.
To the point where they'll use the exact theme music in some scenes when they're just going through some really scary, thrilling moment, and it's like, what do we do now? And, you know, the tension is building and it's
I'll watch 28 Days Later.
Yeah, that's the music. You'll confirm it for me, but I'm pretty sure there's like some strong references. And the acting's amazing.
What are you going to do? Sue them? They're Russian.
Yeah, good luck. And if you read the trivia on the IMDb page, there's some interesting stuff about how they shot in this like remote village and accidentally burned down the only bridge that village used to access the rest of Russia. So they had to rebuild it. And they got stuck at one point on the lake, and most of the crew nearly died trying to get back off the ice. So just some crazy ass stuff in the trivia. So yeah, the acting, the production values, it could be, to me, it comes off as like as good as any Hollywood full budget thing I've ever seen. So I'm now down to clown with like any of the good Russian stuff that pops up.
Down to clown? Mm-hmm. We're going to put you in the ICP.
Are they still a thing? It's like someone today told me that...
Of course the Insane Clown Posse is still a thing.
Wow.
Aren't
they all like 50 now?
Oh, I want to put you in gigolo makeup. I'll do it if you do it.
I'll just be like the sad...
I'll do it if you do it.
Why don't I look like Krusty the Clown? Because I'm just like too old to pull that off.
Nah, it's just white and black. That's all it is.
Alright. I'm down. Anything goes.
Next episode.
That's it. Yeah.
It's a lot of time.
You know, we were going to do this a bit more often and keep it short.
But then
to me that feels like a lot more than half an hour, but we had a good time.
Well, it's not even that. It's just the heat right now is making it really difficult.
Yeah. Well, there's no way we're doing it like 5. It's now like 10:30.
Yeah.
So that's a record. That's as late as we've ever done.
Yeah.
So that's
I mean, it's a Friday. Yeah.
I'm not getting up until... Oh, no, wait. I have to go to the city, so...
Well,
yeah, time zone... I'll be doing that like Connect 4 basketball thing.
Thank you for watching. We here at the Banana Split Podcast, we truly appreciate every single one of you who tune in, listen, watch. We're looking at you, Gary. It's been a while.
Just one comment. That's all we ask.
Yeah, okay, just do it. But I'm serious. Tell us how we can make this a better experience for you. And thank you for watching or listening. So enjoy your dessert and get the fuck out.